On this episode, the Wardens take War 89 after crushing the last vestiges of Colonial holdouts in the southeast, but the Legion strikes back with a strong showing so far in the first 100 days of War 90. Blizzards frustrate Siege armor during the last pushes of War 89. PressCorps Warden Correspondent Officer Tankster heads to the front lines for a live report. Also, Foxhole YouTuber and parody musician Pudsy talks about his work and debuts a new song on the show. The Foxhole community brings the war out of the subreddit and onto the r/place battleground. Live from Studio A in PressCorps World Headquarters, this is your weekly review of the Foxhole War. This is Pressing Matters. For the PressCorps, I'm Geoffrey Jennings. Here in the 90th conflict of the Foxhole War, it's day 98. The Colonials break through the opening of the war with gusto, as armored cars from both factions take the field, and the Legion takes the airwaves. Combined deaths so far total over 465,000, with the Warden suffering about 5% more losses. The region with the highest combined death count is Terminus at over 85,000 deaths. Light mechanized units such as armored cars have been deployed. Meanwhile, major broadcast personalities such as Moydog, normally a Warden, and Summit 1G, whose audience regularly averages over 20,000 viewers or near 20,000 viewers, have taken to the Legion this time, piercing the initial Siege lines and leaving Wardens scrambling to set up secondary defenses. So far, the Colonials have managed to lock down the Moors, the Deadlands, and Shackled Chasm. Legionary thrusts into Drowned Vale are pointing to an encirclement of the central Warden position of the Baths, although Loggerhead remains a thin outlet. If the Colonials manage to isolate Loggerhead, the Baths will be cut off. However, in the north, the Wardens have successfully broken the Green Salient, threatening to disconnect Speaking Woods from the rest of the Warden line. For now, the dual relic bases of Inari and Wound remain blue. Still lots of action happening in the current 90th conflict, but we look back here on our first story back to the 89th. For a majority of War 89, the Colonials have made sure the bulk of the fighting has taken place in the south, but as Colonial positions had rallied around the remaining positions, and blizzard conditions had set in, Warden progress had gotten bogged down in the snow. PressCorps Warden Correspondent Sam Clease has more.
War 89, Day 411, The Heartlands. A blizzard has blown across the fields. Many soldiers are now equipped with winter uniforms to cope with the sudden cold. Corpses of unfortunate ones who were not issued these coats in time litter the inside of trenches in the back line. However, the field leading to Baron's Wall is empty of trenches. Soldiers are unable to build any, as it would be rendered useless by the tanks that have just arrived from the battlements, forcing them to use stone walls and fence postings as cover instead. When I arrive, I spot several Wardens running back and forth with wrenches in hand. Warden forces are equipped with around 4 to 5 tanks, and Colonials with around 3. The freezing cold, plus the higher amount of explosives, mean the mechanics, such as wall skittles, are working overtime to ensure the armour can run smoothly. Warden tanks seem to be crewed by several regiments of each, Siege, HBL and 501st primarily. However, these clans seem to be out of sync. Arguments between the crews occurred quite often, with none of the tanks seeming to cooperate on an effective level.
Siege, move to the right so that we can get both anti-tanks in the middle. You're a flank tank, get on the flank.
Are you crazy or what?
No, move to the right.
That was the only section of the argument that I could show without having to censor it. This lack of teamwork came to the detriment of all the Wardens on the front, as the Colonial tanks were able to flank right and take out one of the tanks despite their smaller force. This loss of a tank seemed to severely impact local Warden morale. Many were likely to run and desert. One man from the 102nd Regiment even jumped in the freezing waters and drowned himself.
Guess we're going it alone. We ain't no bitches. Actually, I don't have any.
Yeah, no, fuck that. We bitches. We bitches this time. Fuck that.
Eventually, the full retreat of the Warden tanks led to the Colonial forces to move up. The Colonials had gained access to the stone walls and were throwing grenades using launchers, effectively destroying any Warden emplacements. Some had even gotten access to the trenches that led directly into the Warden FOB. However, this was eventually rendered unsuccessful. The Colonial offence quickly lost steam, likely as the attacking force had gotten smaller due to transfers to other fronts. This led to Warden forces beginning a counterattack. As of day 501, the Wardens have taken the Barons Wall and are currently moving to the Blemish. Sadly, I am unable to explain how they did this, as my leg had gone numb from frostbite. A local soldier offered to put me out of my misery.
I'm freezing to death. We need a fire.
Run back to the bunker. There's fire at the bunker.
Yeah, run back to the bunker.
My leg was numb.
Okay, let me put you out of your misery.
Before I could respond, he had already shot me with an AT rifle. Miraculously, I survived the 80 rounds to the head and was able to crawl away to a nearby house so I could treat my frostbite. At some point, I was found by a medic who ended up amputating my left middle finger as it had gone blue. This is Sam Clease. With the PressCorps, I can no longer hold up my mic.
Fantastic reporting, as always, from Sam Clease. He had to work with several production crashes and starting over from scratch, which I can very much relate to. Fantastic work. Pudsy is a Foxhole YouTuber known for his game-specific parody songs, including a cover of It's a Long Way to Tipperary, with over 65,000 views on his YouTube channel. The PressCorps' Santiago sits down with the musician.
Hello, and first of all, thank you all for joining in to the PressCorps Live. Just aclaring that. And thank you, Pudsy, for joining us. Do you want to say a few words before everything?
A few words? I just want to say a huge thank you. This is the first time I've been interviewed for like anything in my life. So really, thank you. It's
it's actually a pleasure for us having such a great influence, like a great personal influence in the Foxhole community, and a great an example of how a community must be, must we well accord. So, Patsy, first of all, tell us a bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm Pudsy. I'm like an 18-year-old Korean boy, just living in an apartment making songs. I thought it'd be fun one day, so I just decided to do it. And it's gained a lot of traction recently, more than I could have ever thought. And I'm very happy about that.
Oh, so perfect. So you said you were Korean, is it right?
Oh, yeah, I'm hellishly Asian, yeah.
So, is there a reason you chose in the Warden faction, or is it maybe because of your Asian affiliation? We all know that, well, we all can agree that maybe the Wardens have a little affiliation to anime and all that stuff. Is it because of that you chose the Wardens?
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It was fate, honestly. I just looked at the screen, looked at the two sides, and something just drew me to the Warden side. It might have been the anime, who knows, but yeah, I just knew that was my home.
Maybe it's destiny. You were destined to be there.
Yeah, I saw home, Santiago. That's why I saw.
Yeah, that's perfect. So, about Foxhole, how long have you been playing it?
Gosh, I got it during the Steam Summer Sale last year. About late War 79, and that's a war we lost, from what I remember. So it's been about 6 months, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. I've seen many people join Foxhole and the Foxhole community about 6 months from now, reading analytics and reading all the people that come to Foxhole and the Foxhole community. They all join around War 79. And in all that history of yours, we've seen that you founded a new regiment, is it right? The Knights of Siva?
Knights of Siva, yeah, Knights of Siva. Well, I mean, I change my name every week or so, but yes, I founded a new regiment during War 89. I've been taking a lot of internships under a lot of veterans, and honestly, I just want some leadership experience, so I've started with, but the official name is MOD, Ministry of Defense.
Oh, okay. Like, You decided to found your own regiment instead of joining one already existing, or what was it?
First of all, I just I don't. I'm the type of person who doesn't really like to listen to orders, so I rather create something of my own.
Yeah.
But I know that I need experience, so I have joined a couple of regiments in the past, and I worked with a lot of regiments, and I believe I'm a volunteer in CL right now. So hopefully
Oh, in the
I'll be able
Colonial,
to practice.
Callahan Legion.
That's the one.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah, they're heard about. I'm a colonial, preferably, but working for the press, I must stay neutral. So yeah, my affiliation is for the press. But the Colonial Legion, have you done any operations with them, or?
I am proud to say I have not once touched the Colonial Legion. Thus far, I was actually considering going Colonial this war because I knew it was my last chance before I started my new regiment. Just to get a feel of the other side. But I flipped a coin, and again, fate brought me back to the Warden side.
Okay, so changing of topics. About music, we can all say you are kind of a well, you are a musician. You have a great voice. Do you consider yourself like that? Do you consider yourself a musician?
By no means whatsoever. The only experience I had with singing was theater, and even then I was terrified to sing in front of a crowd. But now I'm making songs for thousands of people to watch, so that's quite a dramatic shift. So I think anyone who's like a proper musician can see the small flaws in all the videos. Like that proves that I'm an amateur, but I have enjoyed it immensely, and I think my voice has improved over the months.
And not only yourself, everybody has enjoyed all your videos. I'm quite a fan of your work, and all of your videos and all of your music videos, they are kind of cinematographic, isn't it? Is there like a purpose of it?
The purpose is more roleplay, more immersion. That's what I really wanted, because I knew that something I really love about Foxhole is that a lot of the lore, it's very open. You don't know everything about it. There's nothing really set yet, so there's a lot of flexibility to explore with, and that's what I like to do with my videos.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking that because on the music video, you posted "Going home, Collie soldiers, going home," and we can see like a Warden defender defending all the trench by himself. Do you usually focus on the cinematics, or is it just casually appears to that?
Whatever's cool, I usually go with. Whatever seems nice. But specifically that video, the "Going home, Collie soldiers." The reason I made it like that without a music instrumental in the background, I had the lyrics for it. It was in my head, but I couldn't find an instrumental because I don't have that kind of talent. So I couldn't find an instrumental anywhere on the internet. So I just decided, just sing in the front line. I sang it and it just went, upload it. Might as well not waste the lyrics.
Yeah, just like fuck it and everything like that. It's like you just posted it.
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Thank fuck. All right, yeah.
I think so. Maybe a lot of
Yes, you can fucking swear. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. That's it. A lot of Foxhole players are above like 13 and that kind of stuff. And so, yeah. You were talking about instrumentals. Do you play any instruments like? Well, we see in 16 Crates in that amazing song that you play the spoons. Is it right?
I play on instruments.
Yeah. Do you play instruments?
I used to play the trumpet, but I'm not so good at that anymore. No, I don't play any instruments, but I do play the ocarina now and again, like that.
Oh.
I'm not good at it,
Let's
but
go.
I have it.
Okay, you have the talent for that instrument.
Not the talent. I just have the instrument.
Oh, okay. But we've seen in many other videos that you used other instruments, like in 16 Crates. Is it true that you used spoons for the background, like the clashes of the hammers?
It wasn't 16 Crates. It was We All Scroop Together.
Oh, We All Scroop Together.
Yeah,
sorry.
That was the song. Yeah, my parents were so confused because I just took 2 spoons and the next thing they hear is just It's just like the clashing of two spoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming from
Innovation.
coming from a listener, it sounded amazing, really, and the originality of having two spoons clashing to the like a hammer is just amazing. Well, you were saying before that you are considering doing like a Colonial gameplay. Well, not gameplay for your channel, but you said you were doing something Colonial. Is it right?
I do. I'm sorry to Michael P. I don't know if he's watching, but I did promise Michael P. to make him a music video for the 141st. And Michael, I'm not doing that because you're Colonial. I'm not doing it because I'm dumb as fuck. I haven't come up with the lyrics. I don't know what song it's going to be. But yeah, I'll do it. I'm a man of my word. So yeah, there will be Collie songs in the future, just not as many as Warden songs.
Oh, okay. Like not only Warden songs, but Colonial songs as well. We've seen this video of yours singing the battle hymn of Belly. Is it like a threesome for you to sing that?
That was also a bet. I lost.
Oh.
Okay, so some people may know that I fist fought with Creepy Banana. I did the same with Michael P, the meme man. You may know him, and he won that one. And the bet was I had to make 2 Colonial songs, and one of them was the Battle Hymn of Valley, and the other was an original for the 141st Regiment specifically.
Oh, okay. Changing of topic now. Talking about the community of Foxhole. Are you aware of the r/plays war that is developing on the subreddit? Well, r/plays and the Foxhole representation of it. Have you participated in it?
I've been playing that more than I've been playing Foxhole recently. Every 5 minutes. I have caught up with the lore, my guy. I am got everything in my head. I know all the relationships, the diplomacy. I know the history. We have such a deep history on there of 24 hours.
Yeah, it must be. There must be some like deep history inside of r/plays. First, shout out to our boys fighting the Wall Street bets on the subreddit. There are a lot of crazy stories coming up next with another person talking about it. But right now we must move on to another thing. And is it right that you are premiering a song this time?
That is correct. I've worked very hard on it. I throw in my voice, and I hope you enjoy.
Yeah. So now, thank you, Pudsy, for your time here. And it is amazing to have you here. Yeah, and thank you for letting us premiering your song. Maybe we continue with that, Geoffrey.
Wardens marching under frozen thunder, holding fast both east and west. Each new weapon is a brand new wonder, steel and flesh. Shrined in the heart of the sacred charter, burn the heritage with holy flame. Each new death is a brand new martyr he claims. Vow allegiance to the war-torn leader, pledge revenge for our fallen friends. Blood will spill as we push each meter, here we end. Oh, to change the course of history. Oh, Callahan is calling me. Oh, to clutch the cloth of victory. Oh, Callahan is calling me. Callahan is calling me. Flooring rumbles as the tanks roll farther, crushing steel and bone alike. Draw recruits for the great departure, hold and strike. Rally forth with the age-old clans, but tides, heroes under mighty halls. Today we rise from more than man and see the calls. Oh, to change the course of history. Oh, Callahan is calling me. Oh, to clutch the cloth of victory. Oh, Callahan is calling me. Callahan is calling me. And the clans will carry me. Faith in the leader shall set me free. Vets and the clans will carry me. Faith in the leader shall set me free. Oh, to change the course of history. Oh, Callahan is calling me. Oh, to clutch the cloth of victory. Oh, Callahan is calling me. Callahan is calling me.
That was Pudsy's original song. Actually, I'm not sure if it's a parody or an original song, but either way, great music, by the way, from Pudsy. Make sure to stop by youtube.com/Pudsy for more of that kind of content. Callahan's Calling was the name of that song. Well, we're going to go to commercial break, but after this, more news from the front line, as well as more news on the front lines of r/place coming up right after this.
This hour of programming is brought to you by The War Report for Foxhole smartphone application by Raylem. Want to know how the war is going while you're out and about, shopping for groceries with your ration stamps? Don't rush home back to your radio set. Download the War Report for Foxhole app for free on iPhone and Android. It's a fast, clean interface that gives you all the most important information on the latest conflict, including town hall status, casualty numbers, day count, and more.
But aren't smartphones anachronistic to the world of Foxhole?
Shut the hell up.
Okay, fuck me.
The War Report for Foxhole app by Raylem, available for free on iPhone and Android.
Round. Blue. Functioning. These are some of the words used to describe the craftsmanship of Callahan Car Works. At Callahan Car Works, our proud history of providing motorized seats on wheels has informed our work and produced our greatest product line yet, such as the O'Brien V121 Highlander, all the mobility of a tank with none of the firepower. The Niska Mark II blinder, superior firepower mounted on a half-track that can barely support it. And the Devitt Ironhide Mark IV, plates and plates of steel-reinforced armor with absolutely no upgrades in engine horsepower to compensate. When you want nothing but the finest, there's also Callahan Car Works. Callahan Car Works, redefining the acceptable.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. Yes, welcome back to Pressing Matters. We are now going to go live to PressCorps Warning Correspondent, Officer Tankster, as he is out live in Callahan's Passage. Officer Tankster, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, yes. Can you describe what the situation is out there? Because the Wardens have been clearly on the back foot for the past for the first 100 days of this war, this new war. How are the Wardens faring?
That is correct. The Wardens are faring it was saying appearing a bit of a back and forth motion at what I can see at this point. As right now, I am currently at just south of Overlook Hills and Callahan's Passage, and it appears that we're at a stalemate right now for Crumbling Passage just to the south. Right now, it seems to be a huge operation between the Wardens.
There's the Mammon Rush.
And then we also have a large amount of collie presence as well.
How sprawling are the bunkers out there?
Godspeed, guys.
Right now, the Wardens are now trying to use the nightshade advantage to take out the collie bunker base, right? Collie defenses.
Okay.
I'm hearing some chatter happening in the background. Can you describe what's happening in front of you?
So what's going on is that the Wardens are going to attempt a Mammon Rush of the collie bunker base just to our south. I'm going to try and keep a close eye and see if they make any contact.
I think they have the eye here.
Well, it certainly sounds like there's going to be a lot of contact very soon.
Alright.
Good luck.
So, as of right now, we're trying our hardest to do so. The Wardens are trying their hardest to do so. So with a huge amount of machine gun garrisons placed around, along with rifle prom officers, they're being torn to shreds, I should say.
Crumbling Passage, certainly a lot of that going on in terms of the immediate vicinity. A lot of gunfire I can hear clearly. But in terms of Crumbling Passage, as the name suggests, what is the terrain like over there near the mountain passes of Cal's Pass?
So as where I'm at right now, it is extremely uneven terrain. We have many hills over cliffs, and then we have terrain that is just not flat at all. We have terrain that goes down and then immediately lifts up to a higher elevation. It's just a lot of rock formations, which making building the fences a lot harder, and which is also forming bottlenecks around our area, which is not making it easier for both sides.
Let's zoom out for a second. Let's think macro. What is the strategic importance of this passage in relation to the rest of the region?
One, this gets us one step closer. That will give us the ability to re-enter Deadland.
I'm sorry, who's we? Is it so you're saying the Wardens?
Correct. That's my fault. And the Wardens. If Wardens achieve this, we'll have full access into the northwestern side of Deadlands, as well as they can head to the west and take Crumbling Post, hopefully easily.
Where's the tent? Just a little further this way.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty important juncture point in kind of the tri-regional area, so to speak. So certainly the Wardens will want to keep that on lock if they can. I think, according to what I can see on the map, just geographically speaking, that looks like, I don't know, 50, 70 meter wide front, maybe 100 meters. It's hard to tell with the scaling of things, quite honestly, but it looks like it's a pretty important deadlock. Do you think, given the state of the Colonial attack right now and the state of in terms of the wider front, I don't know the immediate momentum in your immediate vicinity, but do you think the Colonials will be able to break through in the next, let's say, hour?
Well, I do see the Colonials do have a 30 milliliter tankette that they're currently not using right now. But at this point, the Wardens are making. The Wardens do have the advantage. So unless anything changes, I would say they will not have a chance to push through.
That makes sense, considering that there's not a lot of there's no fire support on the field. I don't think we haven't gotten any reports of mortars being deployed to the ward, and the only kind of ordnance are those HE grenades, the Mammons. So we're going to see a lot of infantry rushes, a lot of casualties, and a lot of meat grinding, as I can hear in the background.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I did see a flare go off when I first approached the front, but I have not seen another one ever since.
If there's a flare, then we've got confirmation of mortars, but maybe a searchlight. I'm not quite sure. Again, the tech is obviously a closely guarded secret between the two countries. We'll just have to. We get all of our information based off of what we can observe.
That is correct. And so yes, so as I mentioned before, the Wardens, as long as the momentum stays on the Warden side, the Warden Colonial base will definitely fall if they do not get any reinforcements.
Would you say are there any regiments operating in the area? I know there's always, one or two members of a regiment always, hanging around, but have you noticed any, say, 3 or more from the same regiment operating in the immediate vicinity?
Right now, I have seen lots of clans, but I have not seen more than 3 in 1 at this moment.
Can someone get that?
Mm-hmm.
But
so it seems to be unregimented and more of a natural fight than anything.
Yes, because as of right now, I do see more no-clan people who are out of clan than people who are in clan.
Alright.
That's the plan. We can't push.
Well, I'm hearing a lot of chatter. Do you think you can talk to someone about what the situation is out there?
I will. Hey, Second Lieutenant Mr. Bones.
Just hold on, okay. Just hold on.
I'm Reporter Officer Tankster from the PressCorps. You're live on the air right now. Can you explain what the situation is going on?
We can't push. We're holding the line. That's it.
All right. Do you think there's any way that we could actually push? The Wardens could actually push?
Yeah, as soon as we get RPG shells, we can use the...
Oh, sorry.
We can use those. We have no ammo for them right now.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
My dick.
When you mentioned those, real quick, when he heard those, what was he referring to?
He was referring to our Thorbreaker twin barrel RPGs, mounted guns. It looks like the Colonials are starting to make an advance to the flanks.
Mm-hmm.
So this could probably change the tide of this momentum.
It'll be the tide. It could break again. How many layers of defenses can be immediately visible for the Wardens?
Well, when you count on it.
As of right now,
how many layers of trenches would you say? It's kind of a hard thing. It's kind of subjective, but is it like 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines?
Just hold the line.
The Warden is currently on the final trench line before they make contact with the Colonial base. And if they plan to build more, they will do that. As of right now, it looks like as of right now, the Wardens are destroying the Colonial trenches.
All right, so it's a high-intensity area, and I think you mentioned this earlier, but who has the elevation? Who's got the high ground right now, essentially?
As of right now,
I'd watch out for the safety explosions.
Whose position? I'm sorry.
They might safety you.
Sorry, someone was telling me about watching out for safety positions, safety explosions. Other than that, from our position, the Wardens have the high ground at this moment. But the only way to get the crumbling posts is if we go to the level. So as of right now,
certainly sounds like a fight out there. And how many Wardens would you say, guesstimate, are operating in the immediate vicinity? Well, what's your body count there?
For what I can see right now, I'm counting at least more than 20.
More than 20. You guesstimate that's matched by the Colonials on the other side of the line?
As I can see, there's one on our line, but there is most likely... It's currently nighttime, so I can't see much past. But other than that, I can see most likely, I'll say roughly the same body count.
Well, manpower count and then body count, which is always rising. But regardless,
enemy vehicles, anything?
I asked you earlier how
there's a tank on that.
How layered the Warden defenses are, and you mentioned that this is the last layer of defenses for the Wardens. How layered are the Colonial line that you can observe?
How to make.
Right now, there's also their last line of defense as well. There's only 1 line of defense for both sides.
Okay, so it looks like both sides have really ground each other down quite a bit.
Correct.
An extensive no man's land.
Yes, as of right now, the Wardens are in no man's land, as you mentioned. But that could change shortly, depending on how the situation goes.
A lot of bounding machine gun fire I can hear.
Correct. That is us. That is correction. That is the Wardens. On our side, trying to suppress the rifle garrisons, while the collies on the other side are trying to take out our troops from rushing the garrisons.
All right. Well, if you didn't have anything else for us, Tankster, please stay safe out there.
I'll try to. I'll get back to you with an update if the time comes.
Thank you very much. For the press corps, that was Warden Correspondent Officer Tankster live from Callahan's Passage. So far, the latest updates from FoxholeStats.com combined 42,000 casualties in that region since the beginning of the war. It has certainly been a meat grinder, and that's hardly even the most casualties in any of the regions so far. Well, for our last segment here, we're going to bring in some members. It's hard to say; it's kind of decentralized, but we're actually going to bring in members of some of the r/place Foxhole team, if so to say, who are going to be joining us, kind of telling us about what is going on exactly in r/place and how it relates to what the Foxhole community is doing. So I have here StealthBoy and FoolishDirector. I was actually guided to these two gentlemen, these two folks by goodness, who is in charge of that Discord? I believe from the 27th Regiment Game CHFO. Not quite sure how to say that name, but they didn't have a microphone, so we actually have StealthBoy and FoolishDirector. How are both of you doing?
I'm doing well today. Thank you for having us on your program.
As well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell me, whoever wants to take this, what is going on in terms of r/place, and what is the Foxhole community doing to make their mark?
Do you want to start, Foolish, or should I start?
You start, Stealth.
Well, I have some history with our place. So the event started as an April Fool's event back in 2017. Reddit has these every year. They've been doing it for quite some time. And our place was particularly special because it gave people the option to place pixels on a 1,000 by 1,000 canvas. And it was a great, social experiment. You got all these different groups and communities working together, trying to get their slice of the internet pie shown in this giant canvas. Well, they brought it back again for this year, and lots of communities were excited, and I was also excited. So it was to my surprise to see that the Foxhole community had something planned, and I was surprised we were able to get something so big on the canvas.
Right. So, do we know when the event is going to end?
No, we do not know. Well,
No one
guess. We can guess in 2 to 3 days, but we do not know it's official.
Because this happened 5 years ago, either before or just when Foxhole was starting. So really, no chance for us to make a difference there. So there's this constant feeling of this could end at any moment. So make sure you get your mark. Make sure you get it together, right?
Yes, actually, our biggest fear when it started was that we wouldn't be able to get anything on the canvas. So we rushed to get anything. And if you see the time lapses, our little design was one of the first boxes to show up on the canvas.
Actually finished before some even major Reddits such as Wall Street Bets or r/Star Wars were even finished with their design. So we were in there early.
I'm actually going to, you won't be able to see it, but I'm actually going to flash a picture on, it's a snapshot, not a live feed, so this is probably already outdated by now, just by the nature of it. It's every 5 minutes, right? Any Reddit user can place a pixel, right?
Yes, you're correct. So 5 minutes if your email's registered, and 10 minutes if you're unregistered on Reddit.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it moves very quickly. So this may be already outdated, but there. Sorry for the color vomit, but it is the canvas, the open canvas, and there it is. My goodness, it's actually compared to other major things.
So if you look at the with the canvas that you've got on the screen, we'll take a moment to speak about the people surrounding us. So at the top of Foxhole, we have Arsenal and Killjoy. They were some of the first people to actually ally with each other. So how r/place works is that if you wish to maintain each other's artwork, you form alliances, diplomatic ties, similar to how regiments operate in Foxhole. And we actually formed a very close bond with Arsenal because if you notice above the Foxhole logo, there is Arse-hole. That's a combination of our alliance, shall we say.
That's fantastic. So when you say alliance, members of that Discord, this is a separate Discord. None of this is sponsored by the developers. And I understand why, because it's a mess. But the Foxhole, it's a community Discord. And so people from that Discord go to other Discords, like the Arsenal Discord, and they just coordinate.
It's quite actually easy. All you've got to do is have one person in and say, "We want this bit. Can you help us?" And it's as easy as that.
Have there been any broken alliances so far?
Well, there's been a major conflict. But first, before I mention that, I have to say I want to thank all the communities that have been around us, that have supported us. Arsenal's our major ally, one of our best allies. We've also got Baby Metal.
Baby Metal has actually a key place in our hearts, but we'll get to that story in a second.
Then there's Lithuania, the UK. We even talked with SpaceX for a little bit too, but now they have a NASA logo right next to them too.
So SpaceX got taken over by NASA. That's
There used to be Sexy Sex, but not as that's the nature of r/place.
Sexy Sex. Okay, so I ask because anyone can vandalize anything at any given moment, right?
Yes,
that's amazing.
We're constantly vigilant, and that's why our logos stayed for so long. I don't think we've gotten multiple threats. Do you remember all the threats, Foolish?
Yeah, I'll talk about Ukraine. So, Ukraine, right at the start, it was no contest. They were obviously going to dominate the board to start with because people saw blue and yellow and they decided very easily that they're just going to spread the flag over the canvas, and it destroyed a lot of artwork. Thankfully, we were not in the path of this yet. The second Ukraine flag formed right where the Foxhole logo is on r/place.
Oh no.
And basically, it was creeping very, very forward very quickly. And we were all very, very anxious because we had not yet completed the actual complete image. We have only completed up to Deadlands, Lockmuir. Those hexes were the only ones fully completed at that time. So we would have to either work on QRF and make sure that the Foxhole logo stayed, or try and salvage both the actual image and the Foxhole logo, which we didn't think we would be able to do. Thankfully, though, thanks to Vigilant QRF by making sure that they did not eat away at the black border, they went inside between where the Arsehole logo is now. They went in between us and Killjoy, which is the one above, and it actually just carried on. So we were very lucky. So we survived that very early threat very early on.
And there have been many. Oh, sorry. There have been many more of these threats that popped up. Like there's the Void, which is a major force that pops up every once in a while. There were the let's see. There's also streamers.
Yeah.
Streamers. Anytime a streamer mentioned us by name, we got worried because I think XQC mentioned us in a compliment, and some of his streamers started griefing our Foxhole logo.
Yeah,
compliment.
Yeah, he basically was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. I didn't realize that they would have this." Immediately, we got bombed by multiple pixels. The panic in the Discords. It was a sight to behold.
So I've been in that Discord in and out a couple times, and there are QRF, so quick response force channels, and there are pings going out. So I think earlier I observed the Arsenal logo was being raided by something or someone, and then pings went out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. How many people are in that Discord right now, actually?
I can grab you. Where is it? If I go to my regiment announcement, there is currently 1,214 people in the actual Discord with 730 online.
Obviously, maybe not all of them are involved, but that's still a lot. And actually, ever since this whole event started, I have not seen that voice channel, that general channel, empty, or even less than like 20 people. It's been constantly full.
Yeah, it's been quite up.
That is absolutely hilarious and incredible.
Beauty of Logi players, mate. We know how to queue for G-subs for days.
I was actually up. I was up from 7 a.m. and I hadn't slept the day before, and I stayed from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah, same here. I started playing it about 9 o'clock GMT, and then I took a small break, and then I came back, and I actually carried on playing from like 6 GMT to about 2 a.m. GMT, and ignoring my girlfriend in the process. So that's the dedication that we all had towards this.
Well, that's just regular Logi, right? That's
just
regular.
That's Logi.
That's regular Logi.
Yeah. So I've actually noticed that the green and blue parts of the map, like a traditional Foxhole war, is constantly moving up and down, more or less. So even within Foxhole, even though most communities and most pictures are united, it seems that Foxhole is kind of split in two in that regard.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning it was the Wardens that pushed more deeper down, but now it's the Colonials that are pushing in.
Collies basically teched Ballista, and they started pushing.
Oh, we should mention the Jade Cove.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so Jade Cove. So Jade Cove is in the west part of the map, and what's been happening there in terms of the pixel art?
Basically, people keep putting red dots over Jade Cove on that hex constantly.
Constantly. And ironically, so with Arshlas Place, the first pixel that you get by default is a red pixel. And people keep seeing that Jade Cove keeps getting a red pixel on. So they believe it's meant to be there. So randoms have been trying to fix it, not knowing that they have actually been doing a meta version of the game. So Jade Cove, for the majority of this, has either been green or nukes.
That's really funny. I like to think that one of the reasons, of the many reasons, why Foxhole, the Foxhole picture has stayed so strong, relatively speaking, is because the Colonials and Warden parts of the same community are constantly fighting each other and constantly putting fresh dots in. Therefore, anyone who tries to raid immediately gets caught in the crossfire, essentially, of the two warring sub-factions.
Yeah, it's quite ironic, isn't it?
We usually rely on randoms to just keep filling in the hexes because we're too busy helping our allies or QRFing when the logo starts getting attacked.
To be fair, we haven't actually committed to like any rebuild of the logo since probably 12 or 1 p.m. GMT yesterday.
This is just me speculating, but if I had no idea what Foxhole was, but I was really into r/place, and then I saw this, like, it's not that small of like a picture.
No, it's not. It's not.
Like, it's actually pretty sizable in comparison. Like, obviously, like the Turkish flag is huge. Looking at a live feed now, the American flag, of course.
Considering our size as a community. That
even as a game,
size,
it's one of the biggest game-related ones out there. Like, look at just south of us, we have Rust, which is a much bigger game than Foxhole is.
Much older,
and has such a small little logo.
And it's funny that if you didn't know what Foxhole was, you would know. I think you would notice that there's like a kind of a mini game being played, like North and South, the green and the blue fighting each other. So you might actually get interested in that.
Well,
And
speaking of not knowing what Foxhole is,
oh, yeah.
I can assure you that Wall Street Bets definitely know what Foxhole is now.
So what happened with Wall Street Bets? You mentioned them earlier.
Go on, Stealth.
Actually, I think you have. I think you.
Did you already mention that?
No, I didn't mention it. It was actually one of our main enemies.
Yeah. So basically, if you take a look at where Baby Metal is currently, south west of our picture, they are a key ally of us. Wall Street Bets had a plan to essentially put a one of their logos, I don't know what it's called, but basically it was a person.
Oh, was it the guy with his arms out in the business suit
with the diamond?
It's a boss baby or something like that.
But basically, they completely destroyed Baby Metal. Now we were trying to save Baby Metal the entire time, but the reason why we wanted to do that, one, they were our allies, but also the diamond would have literally covered the entirety of Foxhole. So we were under direct attack. Now, the ironic thing is that we had multiple people in their Discord watching it, like seeing where they're going to attack so we can get in there quick. Now, the devs say that you can't spy on each other's factions, but they didn't say anything about going into each other's Discords, did they? So we went in to Wall Street Bets.
The Reddit devs.
Yeah. No. I was making a joke about Foxhole.
Okay.
No spying. No spying and all that. But
right.
Wall Street Bets, basically, we were watching it the entire time. And we were laughing our heads off because they had multiple people saying they only have 143 people online their Reddit. How are we losing? They had no idea we were attacking them. So we were trying to rebuild Baby Metal's sign, just trying to stop them from invading, trying to put their images over, so then they wouldn't attack us. And we were doing really well for a while until a streamer, who I'm not going to mention because he wasn't very nice, basically said, we're now going to help these people because I like Wall Street Bets. And he basically got his viewers to get an overlay, and basically within seconds we were back to square one. Baby Metal was gone. Baby Metal did not exist. None of their image was there. They were actually planning on moving, and we were assisting them. But what saved us in the end was two things that happened. One, they had basically annoyed every other art piece that was around them, so they were constantly being eaten up by other art pieces. And the second move was that their morale hit a rock bottom bit when their face got destroyed for the 10th time, because we kept eating into their face, eating into the arm, destroying parts of that of their detail.
Yeah, we got to the moon, except not because Foxhole just shot them down.
Yeah, we completely destroyed them. We did a false flag operation. If you see,
wait, what?
Yeah, so if you see bottom left of Baby Metal, there's kind of a lattice pattern, basically yellow and green, essentially.
Okay.
Basically, what we decided was we're just going to build that pattern, and hopefully the randoms get involved. And it did. They started eating into the soup.
We kind of used Hong Kong. They believed that Hong Kong was doing it because they started the pattern as a border around theirs. But we expanded that, and people naturally just started expanding it because they saw an easy pattern they could follow.
That's incredible. And now that so originally the canvas was only half. If you're looking live at it now, or probably later when it's final, it's probably it's wide. You've noticed it's wider than usual. That's because the canvas has doubled in size since then. So that's pretty incredible. So hopefully that takes some pressure off of Foxhole, and it looks pretty secure from what I can see. But anything is possible. So I still notice there's lots of people in that chat, and there's lots of people talking. So this is really astounding, and a testament to this. This is probably not. I don't know if this is true or not, but a testament to how strong Foxhole's subreddit community is, for better or for worse.
I think it's the entire community. I've noticed all the Discords getting together, Foxholes, like clans all organizing. It's quite a beautiful
there's no
community
major clan
effort.
involved in this. Like, it's a combination of Collie and Warden and randoms and big streamers and everyone's come together and said, we want this picture in this community.
Yep. So thanks to all the Foxhole players that helped out, and thank you to all the surrounding communities that have helped the Foxhole logo stay in place.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, whatever happens, you've certainly made it this far, and here's hoping we stick it out till the end. I'm very curious where the front line between the blue and the green is going to wind up. Oh, real quick, who designed the original art?
I can scroll up because I was the backup design and the original concept in case we couldn't get the bigger one in, but we ended up using the big one. I think it was Jackeen. There, you can find it in the Art Blueprints channel of the Our Place server.
It's Alpha. No. Yes. No.
I can. Let's see. I got a message link to it.
There's a channel in the Discord called Ally Art, and it's like Baby Metal, the Templin Institute.
Oh yeah. Because everyone was like, "How do we fix it? How do we fix it?" And we were like, "Here's just the bloody logo. Get on with it."
That's so funny.
But yeah,
what an incredible social experiment.
It's actually quite ironic because we're smaller than most, but we understand that grinding is an art form when done right.
That is true. Don't
so
doubt
I think
Foxhole.
the artist was called Jackeen, and you can find it in the Art Blueprints channel if you look on their server. You just have to scroll all the way up, essentially. It's one of the first designs that were proposed.
Gotcha. Yeah, Jackeen. Yeah, I see it now. That is fantastic.
Can also give a shout out to StealthBoy as well, because he's going out of his way to try and draw up some boys part of this this Operation R/Place, and he's going to create a lovely little mural as like a kind of testament to everyone involved. So he's doing that out of his own way, and also his artwork is sick. So
thank you.
It is very sick.
It's going to take a while, though, because I got messages from like 60 different people, and there's probably going to be even more when they hear about it.
Yeah. Sorry, boy. Enjoy that.
Oh, before I forget, quick shout out to my artist friend Gani. You may have heard of him because he has done lots of Foxhole comics, and I think the PressCorps has actually reached out to him about doing a comic before in the past.
That's very possible. People, ideas get thrown around, some brainstorming for this media or this content all the time. And even though we can't get to all of it, we appreciate the offer and the effort, no matter what. So, yeah. Gentlemen, do you have any closing words here other than, I guess, join the... Oh, where can we get the... I'll put by the time this goes up, the event might be over, but where's the Discord? Where can it be found? Is it on a Foxhole Discord somewhere?
I think it's been mentioned. I will find a invite link real quick. And
if you go into the official Reddit of Foxhole, there is multiple links to the artwork plus the Discord. Also, if you go into the recruitment server of the official Foxhole Discord, I believe Game Chiefio, the guy that set this up originally, has been posting asking for people to be involved. So there's multiple ways you can find it.
Excellent. Well, I think we're going to close out there, but Foolish Stealth, thank you so much for your time here. I'll let you go so you can get back into the pixel trenches.
Yeah,
and everyone else who
needs to go.
Yeah, whoever participated and designed these and helped put even a pixel down. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Well, that's all we have time for this week. Make sure to stop by PressCorps World Headquarters through the Discord link below and submit your stories in the submission text channel for a chance to hear your story live on the air. Additionally, if you see our reporters out on the field, don't be afraid to say hello for a quick chat. For the PressCorps, I'm Geoffrey Jennings. Good night and good fight.
The PressCorps is a non-profit creative collective of artists, reporters, and players from the MMO video game Foxhole by Siege Camp. Our mission is to engross our audience in and amplify the stories of this unique war ecosystem. The PressCorps was founded in early 2018 by former PlanetSide 2 Radio Free Araxis host, Captain in Arms. It is a separate community entity and is in no way representative of Siege Camp. For more information, visit the PressCorps Discord through the link below.